for Coach Lesley.
Jordan, Neil was just talking about, some of their explosive runs in the fourth quarter, misfits and some issues that you guys had mistakes on.
The last two were really kind of being overly aggressive, trying to make something happen. And that's it. And it was a 4-minute situation, which is, usually what you want to do. Your margin for error is just so small when it's a wholesale, type deal, and all it takes is a one, and it's gone. Could have sat and played and played back, but we were already down. One guy that I didn't want to put in that situation, so I tried to create a negative play. Whether that's right or wrong, it up for discussion, but that's what we did, and misfit it, and it's gone.
So defensive problems the last couple games overall. Is defense capable of better than that, or your personnel losses just leave you in such a hole?
Yeah, we're capable. I'm as hopeful as I've been the whole time, and here's why. But I've seen them play at their best, and it's not like we forgot how to do that. Now, there's things that I wish that hadn't happened, and there's things I wish that were different, but they're not. The thing is, and my message to them is, you have to be at your best when your best is required, and that's for 60 minutes, not for 53-48, not for 59, not for 59-59. And that's the margin for error in our league. That's what it is. And so, I'm looking at it, and exactly what I told them is we got to be at our best for the entire time. And the mistakes, down the stretch, whether it's, somebody said something about fatigue. Listen, man, fatigue's part of the game, and you can't make those mistakes. Because good teams, especially good players, they make you pay, and you can't have penalties. You can't have things that where you give them things that you can't to good football teams, and so just got to play better for the entire time. There's some really, really good things we did Saturday, but you play 4 quarters, not 3.5.
Neil talked about this game stinging a little bit more, and obviously that doesn't just talk about the defense, but does this loss and this performance sting a little bit more than the Houston game?
Nah, they all sting. A loss stings. I don't really categorize them one more than the other. They're all the same to me. Either win or you lose. How you win, how you lose. They're all different.
UCF, what do they present offensively?
They're good. Running quarterback and everything that comes with that. They can split the defense in half. They can throw it over your head. They're really good. They do a lot of things, dress things up, move things around, and we just got to be ready for it. Got to be ready for all of it. That's one of the things this offense. As long as he going all the way back to Auburn, he can play the whole field in any personnel, any formation, and again, he can split the defense right down the middle, and so you just got to get ready for it.
You don't have many linebackers. Is there anything you can do schematically to help them when you don't have that many?
Well, there's an old saying about robbing Peter to pay Paul. And you talk about some of the run fits, and things that, we care about capabilities, you have to do what's best for the entire 11. And, I wish, like I said, I wish some things, wish we were deeper there, but it's not the case. So I'm not going to make excuses for them or me or anybody else. Just got to play better. And whenever your number's called, that's what it's got to be.
This game seems to find that, though. When you got an area where you're a little bit light, it just seems to snowball in one place. The way this game works.
Yeah, it doesn't. Everybody watches film, and they know, people do research on the pieces, and so they, there's no perfect defensive call. and there's no game that's ever been played perfect by any player. It's just that's the nature of the game. I tell the guys that all the time. But there's simple things, no matter if you're a true freshman or you're a fifth-year senior, that you train for and you teach, and no matter what the situation is, and if you're on play number 82 that you've played, that you've got to perform when your best is required, and that's hard to do, and that's just it's probably not fair for some of the guys, but I don't think fair is a part of the deal in this game.
Ben Cutter, one of those young guys you're trying to get up to speed.
Yeah, I mean, Ben plays the game the right way. Ben is probably been given something that is hard for guys his age to handle, but he'll be fine. And like his, that penalty he had, Ben's playing hard. It's not malicious. He didn't leave his feet to launch into a guy out of bounds. He playing hard, getting to the ball, and the guy, he just lost where he was. He's actually trying to hold the guy up as he go out of bounds, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it's the right call. It's a penalty. But he's playing hard. And as long as he does that and he continues to learn, he'll be fine. Ben's about the right things. He'll learn, he'll grow, he'll get better.
Is there anything you want to do to try and get more pass rush?
Yeah. yeah, I do. That always helps.
Like Neil talked about bringing a fifth guy or stuff like that.
Again, Paul and Peter.
Yeah.
You bring a guy out of coverage, and there's times and places for it, and you have to pick and choose. But every time, everybody's answer is always wants to be pressure, right? Like we got to pressure. All right. Well, when you take one out of coverage, there's places that you void and you take that from, and so yeah, I mean that's something you want to do, and there's times and places for that. You just have to, again, you have to see the pieces that are in the game and make sure that it's best for the 11 people that are out there.
Biggest challenge UCF presents to you guys?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a little bit of a run can be a pass and vice versa. There's the whole field's in play, the whole formation's in play, and there's a lot of moving pieces to those. So you just have to, football is numbers and angles, and make sure you try to get them where you need them, and that's always a challenge because it all most of the time it all looks different where the pieces start and where they finish. So you just have to rep that as much as you can. Show it to them on film as much as you can, and you just got to get ready for it.
Back to Cody's question on pass rush a little bit. Trey Lathan seemed to be a guy that could pressure really well when you brought him. His absence, is that just hard to replace what he did? Was he as good at it as it appeared?
Yeah, I mean Trey's a good player. We said going into this year that was a guy that we knew had to be a guy that played well, and he was, and that was a part of his game that he had really improved, and so. But that's part of the game. We can look back and what ifs, and that's not helping us. Like we're not looking back saying, well, if this and that. Not going to make any excuses for anything. Not gonna sit here and try to. That's just not what it is. So yeah, I mean. We're missing him, but somebody's got to step up.
Thoughts on Burks and what he means to the defense and moving forward, things like that.
Say that again.
Thoughts on Burks?
Yeah, I mean, he just, you come off of an injury like that, probably a little hesitant, an off week and then missing a game, and just probably a little rusty. But then just getting back to the speed of, being what he's really good at, and that's getting us in the adjustments and where we need to be, especially with emotions and things. I thought it wasn't as good as he had been on that, but it got better as the game went on, and so just knocking off the rust and getting back to it. But his absence, having him back, I mean, it really, really helps us.
Okay, anything else for Coach Lesley?
All right, thank you very much.